Broadcasting from the basement of La Penta, it's WICR.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Sports Vault. Jersey Joe and Big Shot Rob rolling along, and I just said it. It is time to praise Mr. Urban Meyer. Rob, I've said it for a long time. Even with Nick Saban, I've felt that Urban Meyer is the best head coach in college football in the country. I just look at him. Everywhere he's ever been, he's turned the program around overnight into a major powerhouse. He did it at Utah. He did it at Florida. He does it again at Ohio State. Look at Saban. Took him a little bit more time. Don't get me wrong. They're both the best. No one better. But I just look at Urban Meyer. Nobody puts their players in a better position to win than Urban Meyer. All you need to see is what happened to Ohio State this year. There's not another coach in the country who could have overcome losing his two starting quarterbacks, losing Cardale Jones. He was the savior, Cardale. Losing J.T. Barrett, losing Braxton Miller. No one else could have overcome that. Yeah. I just think there's no one else who does the type of things he does.
Joe, he's amazing. And I say this going back to Florida when he had Tim Tebow. This guy is an amazing coach, just picking up his third championship. And Joe, we look at it with Ohio State first coming in. Remember all the sanctions Ohio State faced. And this guy really has just built up that program.
Undefeated that season, too. People forget.
Undefeated. Should have been the BCS National Championship that year. And you know what? I'm so proud for this guy. He's amazing. You know, you just said it. Thrown into a situation, you lose your two quarterbacks. Not many coaches are able to win with a third-string quarterback. But this guy proved you all wrong.
I mean, it's one thing, too, to just play anybody, but just look at the run he put his team in a position to win over. Wisconsin, 59-0. Beat Alabama, 42-35, and then figured out the most complicated offense in college football in 11 days and beat them handily 42-20. He just does things that no one else can do. Here's the scary thing. If you're Ohio State, it's a great thing. If you're the rest of college football, it's a scary thing. Rob, they're going to be even better next year.
Yeah, give it another 2 or 3 years. I'll give it maybe another 2 years. He'll win another championship.
I mean, he absolutely will. They could repeat. Think about it. I mean, with J.T. Barrett back, with Cardale Jones, we all pretty much agree Braxton Miller is pretty much gone. Unless Urban Meyer could figure out a way to just smooth it over and figure out to get him to stay, which I doubt. I mean, there was reports that Florida State, there might be a link up there. But, I mean, Cardale Jones and Braxton and J.T. Barrett, that's the next question is, where do you go?
Play each of them each week. Play one of them each week.
You think so?
Look at it. You'll have superstars. You don't have a definite quarterback. No, I'm going to be serious now with this. With the whole quarterback situation, I would go with J.T. Barrett, hands down. Honestly, the guy, before he broke his ankle, the guy was unstoppable, Joe. He was going to be a front runner for the Heisman. He would have been awesome. It would have been even better if he got to play against Oregon in the BCS championship. This guy is tremendous. And you know what? I would give it to him. Braxton Miller, his time is done. In my eyes, he's done. Cardale Jones, he might have to take the bench this year. That's the only problem because I'm giving it to J.T. Barrett.
And see, I'm with you too. You and I know because we followed it all along. J.T. Barrett was his coming out party for everyone else was the Michigan State game. But if you had watched after the loss to Virginia Tech, he had 5 straight games with over 500 yards of total offense. Led Ohio State's offense to that mark. Unbelievable. I mean, he was unstoppable. The Michigan State game was the game for everyone else that convinced them that this kid could play. But you could just see it right away. After that Virginia Tech game, the way he bounced back, he was just one of the best quarterbacks in the country. I think aside from Marcus Mariota, he might have been the second best. He really might have. I mean, and that's the tough thing is because I think Cardale Jones looks and he could be starting for any program in the country. He could be. He's better than Blake Sims. He's better than so many of these quarterbacks. I'm going to be honest. I mean, I think he might have better arm strength than Jameis Winston does.
He might, Joe. I like him even more than Winston. And this is why. Not only does he have a gun for an arm, he could run the ball. And
yes.
That's one thing that really impressed me, especially with the BCS championship game. He's a hard guy to take down. He reminds me sort of like a big Ben Roethlisberger.
Definitely.
Where you need 2 or more guys to bring him down. And Cardale Jones, if he could choose to go anywhere, anybody would take him right now. I could see him going to like an Alabama, Auburn. Anybody would be willing to take him right now into their program.
I mean, look, like we said it earlier in the game. All you needed to see in that game was on third downs when the plays broke down and he ran it himself. Oregon couldn't stop him. He's 250 pounds of just pure, he's a freight train going towards you. You can't take him down. I mean, I'm just such a big fan. Just going back to Urban Meyer, though, I mean, it's just, this is what he does. Urban Meyer is just a winner, a flat-out winner, and I just think the way he puts his players in a position to win and just the way he figures out a team in that quick amount of time, I don't know. He just has an eye. I mean, and that's what sets great coaches apart from one another is they're able to see things that other people don't see. Urban Meyer has just made a living out of doing it, always does it, and Ohio State's in business next year. They're going to be great. They return so many key players. You got to think that they're always going to have great recruiting class. But we wanted to talk about this also, Rob. At the beginning of the season, we were all just glamour, just glued or drooling at the SEC. And let's be honest, we thought that the Big Ten was an embarrassment at some points this season. How much credibility does the Big Ten get after all their success in these bowl games? And let's be honest, the SEC West, which we thought was the cream of the crop, they stunk in the bowl games.
Oh, they were awful, the SEC. The Big Ten was tremendous, Joe, in these bowl games. And I have to say, one of my favorite bowl games this year was Baylor versus Michigan State. Michigan State just came back and poured back and won that game. Ohio State with this big win. And remember, at the start of the year, Joe, for Ohio State, everybody's like, they're not even going to go anywhere. They shouldn't even be in the top four when it came for the playoff. And Ohio State proved everybody wrong. Definitely a huge boost for the Big Ten. Definitely needed for them.
Absolutely. I mean, all you need to do is, look at what TCU did to Ole Miss. Look at what Georgia Tech did to Mississippi State. Auburn lost to Wisconsin. I mean, the SEC did not do itself any justice in these bowl games. SEC West did a nice job, but I mean their matches were just nowhere near as impactful as the SEC West was. And now you've got Harbaugh coming into Michigan. I mean, look, Urban Meyer and Harbaugh, that brings a lot of luster. The Big Ten couldn't have done any better. I mean, they got so much more of their recognition back. They've got to be thanking Ohio State because things are going way back in control for that conference. They really are.
Next year, Joe, is going to be crazy, especially with Harbaugh now at Michigan.
Yes.
Now, when you look at Stanford, the players he could get, Richard Sherman, Andrew Luck,
yeah.
And you look at what he's going to have in Michigan. Michigan was a program that has been going downhill over the last couple years. We might see a new revamped, stellar program coming into Michigan, and we might see the Wolverines actually be competing for the playoffs next year.
There's no question about it. I mean, the guy was, a lot of people don't remember, at San Diego State, the guy flat out won also. I mean, Andrew Luck is the best prospect that we've seen in years. I'm just one of those once-in-a-generational type of players. And remember when people were saying the same thing about Jadeveon Clowney? Yeah, give me a break on that one. Andrew Luck is just special. He had him, so that's got to say something. I mean, it's just going to be so much fun. Him against Urban Meyer. Both guys. And here's the thing. I don't know if you'd find two more intense guys out there. Urban Meyer and Harbaugh are nuts. And that's what I love about him. I mean, I love guys like that who are just there. Like, when you were watching the Ohio State game last week, when things didn't go well and Urban Meyer chucks his headset across the field, I love that stuff. I mean, these guys they're grinders. They're just like the things that everyone else doesn't want to do, they thrive off of it. You got to love that kind of stuff. It's what Big Ten football needs. It's what Big Ten football has been all about during its history. It's great. I actually just have a story up right now. A lot of people saying, putting connections to Cardale Jones in the NFL, and him coming out and saying flat out, not yet. But Rob, we've kind of said a lot of good things about the guy. Is he ever going to be a potential NFL quarterback?
Oh, he most definitely is, Joe. He has the potential, Joe, and you know what? This kid is going to be good, and I could see him making it in the NFL in the next year or so. I mean, next year with JT Barrett, I'm not sure if he'll have that much playing time. Maybe he'll go to another school, Joe, and play hard somewhere else, win somewhere else, but I could definitely see him in the NFL.
I mean, look, right here, 6'5", 250 pounds, Right there is all the physical attributes you need to play quarterback in the National Football League. Size and just incredible ball skills. That's what you need. The difference between the NFL and in college is how well do you throw the football. We see so many great quarterbacks who just their throwing game is just not the same at the next level. I have no doubts about that. His arm strength is off the charts, and its accuracy as well. It's not just that he can get up there and chuck that ball down the field. It's with accuracy as well, which you need to see. The kid is tremendous. I mean, I watched a great feature on him the other day. Ted Ginn Jr.'s father has an academy for troubled kids in that area in Ohio. He was there. I mean, great story. The kid is just a winner. I love it. Ohio State's got great things going. Urban Meyer's done such a good job there. Like we said at the start of this segment, the best coach in college football. There is no one better. No one else who could have won the championship this year, losing their starting quarterback, then their second-string quarterback, winning with their third quarterback. Unheard of. Not another coach in the country who could have done the same.
It's so amazing, Joe. It's just been a remarkable trip for these guys, and the biggest congratulations to them.
Absolutely.
And
I mean,
they deserved it the most.
It killed me a little bit because of how big of an Oregon Ducks fan I am, but I'm a big fan of Urban Meyer. I always have been. I always will be. The guy I've always felt the best in the country, reaffirmed again last night. That is going to do it for the Sports Vault. Coming in over the break, doing whatever we have to get you content. It was a lot of fun. We will be again more this week, breaking down the top positions for the NFL draft coming up, breaking down the championship games for the NFL this weekend. Got a lot more good stuff planned, so stay with us, tune with us later this week, and everyone enjoy the games. Go Cavs tonight, Rob. Need a win bad.
Go Knicks.